Hello again, it's Bear Niko. Part 2 of my series of Heavy Rapier in the SCA. We'll talk about the parts of the sword and the grip. So I'm going to get closer and we'll talk about the different parts of the sword very close up and also how to grip the sword. Okay? So, the sword. We have... So, the sword. We have the guard and the blade. Masters of the period have different names for different parts of the blade. Sometimes they're are split into 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 7 pieces, whatever. And today I'm just going to separate it into 3 pieces. So we'll start with the guard. This is the guard. This is the actual guard. This is the handle, pommel, knuckle bow, quillions, and of course, and again, the guard. So that is where your hand goes, of course. We'll talk about how to grip it later. Okay, now the other parts of the blades will have the part that is the thickest part that's closest to your hand is for defense. It's called, we call it the forte, like a fort, because you're defending the fort. Now the tip and the latter part of the blade, which is more flexible and lighter, is for offense. And that is called the déboulé for offense. Also, there is the flat part of the blade that we call the flat, and the edges. Back 2 edges. If you look at if you pick up your sword and your sword knuckles are here, this is the blade, the edge that is alongside of where your knuckles are. It's called the true edge, and the opposite edge where your thumb is called the false edge. So that's the different parts of the blade. Now, when we talk about gripping the blade, there are many different types of ways to grip the blade. So I'm not going to say this is the right way. I'm not going to say that there are no other ways. There are many, many other ways to grip a sword. Now, one of the ways that that is not right is to grip the sword like it's a club. You don't want to do that because a couple reasons. First, you don't have the flexibility in your wrist. And second, you will have a lot of strain on your forearm as well as your shoulder. So what I like to do is I like to hold it as Master Lot, I would say, like a knife. So you, like if you're cutting cheese, cutting bread, you don't cut it like this. You cut it here, so your hand is on top. So I put my hand on top where the crevice of the hand is and the thumb. Right, that goes on top. The pommel should be resting around your wrist or the bottom part of your forearm, and your pointer finger should go up towards the top part of the quillions. Some people like to hook it around like that. I do not. I keep it here so that it's nice and balanced, and the thumb goes on the opposite side of it. So that is the way I hold the sword, and so that you can actually hold and balance the sword with one finger. All right, those are the parts of the sword and how to grip the sword. Our next episode, we'll talk about thrusting. All right, see you then.